Hi, everyone, and welcome to For Immediate Release. This is episode 438. I'm Neville Hobson.
And I'm Shel Holtz. Search engine optimization, SEO, has been a foundational activity for marketers and PR practitioners for decades now. But there's a transformative development that's reshaping how organizations communicate online. Google's AI-powered search results, known as AI overviews, is having a profound impact on search and SEO. Let me set the context. In May of this year, Google launched AI overviews in the US, fundamentally altering the search landscape. These aren't just featured snippets or knowledge panels like the ones we've been seeing for a few years now. They're sophisticated AI-generated summaries that appear at the top of search results, providing comprehensive answers. I heard this referred to once as one true answer when Amazon's Echo was first released. I think we did an episode on that. But these are answers to users' queries. While this creates a smoother user experience, it's presenting really unprecedented challenges for brands, for publishers, and for communicators. Google's testing a new ad format with AI overviews. That'll create opportunities for brands to reach users at the moment they need information, but those aren't available just yet. And the impact of AI overviews has been significant. Early data reveals that publishers are experiencing 5 to 10% decreases in traffic since AI overviews launched. This might not sound dramatic, but some news outlets are reporting substantial drops in engagement, and the trend is expected to grow as the technology becomes more widespread. We're seeing the acceleration of what's known as the zero-click phenomenon, users getting the answers directly from Google's AI summary without ever visiting a website. Now, I know we've discussed this before, but here's a wrinkle that makes this a relevant opportunity for communicators right now. When brands are cited as sources in AI overviews, they frequently see increased click-through rates and longer site visits. This suggests that while overall traffic might decrease, the quality of traffic is improving. That's quality over quantity. Users who do click through are more engaged and interested in deeper insights. Now, this shift is forcing organizations to rethink their digital communication strategies. The traditional SEO playbook is being rewritten. Smart brands are adapting by creating comprehensive, authoritative content that AI systems recognize as valuable sources. They're moving beyond keyword optimization to focus on establishing genuine thought leadership and authority in their space. To maintain visibility in this new landscape, organizations need to consider a multifaceted approach. First, focus on creating high-quality, brand-aligned content that offers unique insights and genuine value. Second, invest in digital PR and authoritative mentions. Third, develop sophisticated monitoring systems to track performance across AI-powered search channels. Fourth, diversify your digital presence beyond Google to include other AI-powered platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest to reach your audience. Fifth, and perhaps most critically, build strategic relationships with key industry publications that AI systems frequently cite as authoritative sources. That's a new approach to media relations. Sixth, take advantage of AI-powered ad solutions to ensure your campaigns remain effective in the changing search landscape. And finally, explore alternative methods to engage consumers, like interactive content and personalized experiences, to make up for potential declines in traditional website metrics. Now, here's what's particularly fascinating. We're seeing the emergence of a new specialized role in communication teams, the AI Search Channel Specialist. These professionals work at the intersection of SEO, digital PR, and content creation, understanding both the technical aspects of AI systems and the strategic elements of brand communication. Now, the need for this expertise is clear, given that AI overviews synthesize information from multiple sources, which can dilute individual brand identities and make it harder for users to attribute content to specific brands. Ensuring clear attribution within AI-generated content is crucial to maintaining brand identity, something an AI search channel specialist should be able to do. The implications extend beyond just search visibility. The shift is fundamentally changing how organizations need to think about their digital footprint. The era of creating content primarily for search engines is giving way to an age where authority, authenticity, and genuine expertise matter more than ever. Looking ahead, organizations that will thrive are those that embrace this change while maintaining their authentic voice. The goal isn't to game the AI system. It's to genuinely provide valuable enough information that AI systems naturally recognize and amplify your expertise.
Yeah, interesting. That's a good way you've explained that, I think. I mean, we have talked about this before, and I think the reality is, as I understand it, certainly, is that the likelihood of more zero-click searches is not a likelihood. It's an inevitability, I believe. Why would you click through to the website if you've got your answer right there in the search results? So you're not going to do that, in which case you will see the brand owner is definitely going to see a drop in visits from search to the website. So the limited attention I've given to this topic actually shows that the people I'm seeing in the SEO business in particular talking about this actually presents new opportunities. If you tailor your search texts and everything else that shows up, you've got to do things very differently to how you were doing things before. And in fact, one of the articles you shared on this Smart Company, this firm in Australia, talks about that. And you actually mentioned it, I believe. Create for users, optimize for Google, not create for search, create for the people searching. And that requires a rethink. And this piece talks about the long-term SEO, addressing the user experience and investing in high-quality brand-led content. It sounds great when you read a text telling you this. How do you do that? Well, that's where you need people such as that expert you mentioned and SEO savvy people who can advise you on this kind of thing. But there's more to it than that, though, although that is quite essential, I would say. So I think maybe this is one of those things that is on the very close horizon that no one's really paying too much attention to yet, that now is the time to do this, I would say.
Yeah, definitely now is the time to do this, given the fact that the acceleration of all of this is pretty rapid. I think the other thing that is really important to consider here, and that I mentioned in the introductory remarks, is the need to take the same approach to AI that we've taken with search engine optimization. We studied what the keywords were that people were searching on. Now we have to study what are the sources that AI systems that people are using are routinely going to when they're sharing information. I'm sure that eventually there will be a service that will help with that, but right now I think we're kind of on our own to figure out which media outlets, which influencers are being cited by ChatGPT, by Perplexity, by Gemini, and by Claude, and the open source models like Llama from Meta, because those are the places where we're going to have to direct content. And as I said, this is a shift in our media relations mentality. It's not just a matter of how many column inches we get. There's a blast from the past, column inches. How much share of voice we get. It's in which publications. It's through which services, because if they're not the publications and the services that are finding their way into the answers that these AI systems are providing, then it's not going to be as useful to you. It's not going to produce the kind of results that you need if you were investing time in SEO before. So I think recognizing where we want to get our information published, who we want distributing it, is something that's going to require a lot of thought.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're already seeing this, and this is on a simple basis, I think, just from my experience. I see in ChatGPT, Perplexity's always been like this since it started, which is citations. That's now in ChatGPT. And I'm not meaning just the specific search. It's in everything. You give it a prompt to tell you so, or do something and come back with a result. It includes links to the sources. Perplexity does it better in that it's a lot easier to find that. I think, though, maybe this brings to the fore then that there needs to be, because it's just from a user point of view, greater care in checking out the sources. So, for instance, don't just accept blindly. It's got links there. Great. It's okay. Check the links. I had an experience just a couple of days ago where I did something and I checked the link and it had nothing to do with the question. So I think, how do they come up with an answer then if you've got a bad source in there that it's citing? It's not perfect. We know that. It's not perfect. So you need to check it. I've never stopped doing that. Even if I'm happy with a result, I will still check it. Actual search, I don't tend still to do that with ChatGPT. I do that definitely with Perplexity. Gemini, not so much either. But I tend to stick with Perplexity and ChatGPT for my generative AI use typically. But this adds a new dimension to it. And I'm thinking that you are searching for something. And again, thinking back to previous discussions on this topic we've had, that what does it mean to you? You need something that you're searching for. And there's got to be something that's going to stimulate you to click through to the website, which is not the future. That's not the future scene. I don't see it. So maybe what brands need to consider, in addition to what we've discussed, is how to, and maybe this is at the heart of the content that they need to create, how do you present your information that satisfies the user, that still gives you a value from that, which traditionally you'd count on a visit to your website or whatever the destination is that you choose. You've got to find another way of doing that. And that's at the heart of doing this for the user, not for Google. So maybe this is another challenge for the SEO business as a whole. This is a radical change that's approaching it seems to me, and they don't seem to be ready for it.
No, I don't think they've caught up with this at all. Frankly, I think they're still in that mode of protecting their existing business model. I think that there's just so much going on here that organizations that remain mired in the old world of search engine optimization are going to be scratching their heads at this lost traffic. Yeah, I worry about media organizations that rely on visits for revenue. Somehow, organizations are going to have to find new ways to entice people to their sites, in addition to the work that they're going to need to undertake in order to show up in these snippets, these AI overviews that Google is presenting now. The other thing is that if these don't produce the kind of results that people are looking for, we may see greater uptake of Perplexity and ChatGPT search. And if that happens, it's the same result. We need to get into AI results as opposed to the 10-link search engine results page that we're so accustomed to.
I think that is exactly what's going to happen, Shell. I think Perplexity and ChatGPT and others who are coming on board with this approach are going to be major beneficiaries of the shift that's started already. And they'll refine their models to make it even more attractive from a user point of view. I think Perplexity's probably got the edge on that right now. ChatGPT is still, from again, anecdotally what I hear, not seen as the kind of replacement for Google, whereas Perplexity definitely is seen that way. I haven't really used it except when it first was announced that it had the search capability actually for search. So maybe I'll try it again to see what benefit it gives me. I think they perhaps need to differentiate the interface box because it's not clear.
Basically, there's just a new little button there that says search that you have to click, and then it'll give you a search result.
Quite clear why that needs to be better done, I think. But Perplexity is definitely ahead on that. So if I want to search and I'm doing something in ChatGPT, I tend to switch to Perplexity to do that.
I do too, although I have used the search on ChatGPT and I've been fairly pleased with it.
Happy with it?
It's much better than the early reports were when it was delayed in its launch because it wasn't producing really good results. So the work that they did paid off.
Yeah, okay. So there's definitely work ahead for SEO folk, I think.
Yeah,
but also
and I would
brands.
say for the brands, it's also going to be harder work because loading a blog post with keywords is one thing. Creating really valuable thought leadership content is harder and will take more time and more effort. But that's really what's required if the AI is going to pick it up and say, this is good, valuable content that I'm ready to share in response to this query that I just got.
Yeah. I mean, this is still early stages we're at with this. And it's not polished. What Google's doing is certainly not polished by any means. It's still being developed, these features, overviews feature. So it's still, I think, anyone's guess what's going to happen with this. But I would say that the longer this uncertainty goes on, or this kind of volatility stage wreck goes on, the more the user, people like you and me, for instance, or anyone for that matter, is literally in charge now, because you can go someplace that offers you what you want, like Perplexity, for instance. So it's, as one article I was reading says, fortunately, the SEO industry is quite adaptable and can change rapidly. Well, they're going to have to do that, I would say.
And sooner rather than later. And that'll be a 30 for this episode of For Immediate Release.